Greetings, travelers, and welcome to Goldbound, a brand new challenge series where gold is the only way out. Meet Goldylocked, a humble level 1 adventurer currently bound to Elwynn Forest. He cannot leave, not until he earns enough gold to purchase a WoW token. Only then will he unlock a neighboring zone by the spin of a randomizer. But the curse will continue, and each new zone is locked until the next WoW token is earned. One man, one zone, one goal: escape. Today, we're going to find out if the beginning is a lucrative journey or a curse that will trap Goldylocked in Elwynn forever. Goldylocked begins his quests by leveling up a little bit in Northshire Valley, and it's time to lay down the ground rules. Rule number 1. We may only obtain items through quests, combat, looting, gathering, or crafting. Rule number 2. We may trade out items with other players, but only for gold. No gear, no favors, just coin. For this purpose, we can sell items on the auction house. We simply can't purchase items on the auction house. Rule number 3. Stormwind is technically a zone in Elwynn Forest, and for our challenge, it's unlocked, but strictly for banking and auction house access. Rule number 4. We may not leave the current zone until the gold goal is met. No stepping foot into Redridge, Westfall, or beyond until the price is paid. And rule 5, the price we must pay is the live value of a WoW token. This will be a number that will fluctuate with the winds of the market over the entire challenge. While I'm playing World of Warcraft for this series, I've got deep roots in old school RuneScape, and I still love watching old school RuneScape content to this day. And if you're familiar with that world, you've probably seen the Chunked Locked series. And this challenge is definitely inspired by that concept. Especially, I want to give a big shout out to Trader Steve, whose progression, buying expensive items to unlock new chunks, helped spark this very project. Of course, the WoW community has its own legends doing incredible zone-locked content, and huge respect to Lord Nabble, Shax, and Venerio in particular, who are absolutely killing it with 100% zone completion runs. I'll drop their links in the description if you want to get more great content to check out, because hey, we're only on episode 1, and we've got a long road ahead. And as we get grinding, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss episode 2. And drop a comment below, because for every zone we unlock, I'll be giving away a WoW token to a random subscriber and commenter. One zone, one token, one gold-bound journey. Let's get started. Our hero Goldylocked has officially hit level 11, and we did it the old-fashioned way. Pure questing here in Elwynn Forest. But while we were running around helping farmers and slaying kobolds, we quietly picked up something even more valuable. We've gathered a decent stash of herbs and ore, a mix of copper ore, peace bloom, silverleaf, and earthroot. Not bad for a starting zone. But before we start listing anything, let's check on the WoW token price. Currently sitting at 261,000 gold. So yeah, we've got our work cut out for us. So we'll go ahead and start posting some of our items on the auction house. These early sales are really going to help kickstart our next gold making method, which, fair warning, is going to require a little startup capital. But this is what Goldbound is all about: zone-locked progress. Creative gold farming and unlocking one WoW token at a time. Let's see what sells. We ran into a bit of a problem: bag space. Turns out a bunch of the rare spawns in Elwynn drop 6 to 8 slot bags, and that means one thing: Goldylocked went onto a full-blown assassination mission. One by one, we tracked him down. Some gave us bags, some gave us bruises, but by the end of it, we walked away with a full set of bags. Now, while we were out bag hunting, some of our auctions sold. And just like that, our mailbox had 260 gold waiting for us. Not bad for level 11, with some basic gathering skills and a dream. And that timing couldn't be better, because our next gold making method needs just a little startup capital. We made our way north to a very specific vendor, a mysterious woman known only as the Crazy Cat Lady. Tucked away just outside of Stormwind, she sells rare and adorable cat pets, and people buy them. We picked up 3 of each: the black tabby, the white kitten, the Bombay cat, you name it. These vendor pets are limited in quantity and often get resold for 5 to 10 times the price on the auction house, especially for collectors and completionists. So next stop, the auction house. We'll leave a few of these posted at all times, and hopefully we have a few of them tick off while we're completing some more grinds in the zone. Now, as we start posting more and more items, you might have noticed I'm using an add-on called Trade Skill Master. This isn't for full automation or undercutting wars, It just helps me post auctions quicker and more efficiently as Goldilocks stockpile starts to grow. That way, we can spend less time at the auction house and more time out in Elwynn Forest making gold. And speaking of Elwynn, with bag space sorted and auctions rolling, it's time to get serious. We kicked off our first 1 hour dedicated gold farm, circling Elwynn Forest in a large gathering loop. The goal is simple. Gather as many herbs and ore as possible while hitting every rare spawn along the way. Some of these rare mobs will drop a bind on equip items that collectors will pay for big gold, but more on that later. For now, let's roll the montage. One hour later, our bags are full, the forest's been picked clean, and it's time to see what we've got. So here's the final tally from our first 1 hour gathering. 214 copper ore, 85 earth root, 53 peace bloom, and 114 silver leaf. Now, prices vary depending on the day, but these typically sell for about 3 to 4 gold on the auction house. So let's crunch some numbers. Total material value is about 1600 gold per hour. Not a bad starting place, especially since we only have a ground mount right now. But considering our goal is 260,000 gold for that WoW token, that's roughly a 220 hour grind. Uh-oh. But it's not all bad news. We also picked up a few bind on equipped green items, worth between 50 to 100 gold each. None of the rare BOEs yet, but we'll be targeting specific mobs for those later. Now here's where things got interesting. When I looked at the herb prices using TSM, everything looked pretty standard, 3 to 4 gold for peace bloom, silver leaf, earth root. But when I looked at the mill value, it was showing something surprising. Over 8 gold per herb. That's because when you mill these low-level herbs with the inscription profession, you get alabaster pigment. This pigment is used in early crafting of glyphs and inscription recipes. It's not particularly rare, but the value adds up pretty fast. So here's the trick. All the herbs in Elwynn Forest can be gathered with just level 1 herbalism. And milling these herbs only requires level 1 inscription. So once I had some herbs, I just dropped herbalism, picked up inscription, and milled everything down. That one decision nearly doubled the profit on the herb portion of our 1 hour run. From around 800 gold of raw herb value, we boosted up to 1600 plus, thanks to milling. Now, if you're looking to farm some gold yourself, maybe to grab your own WoW token, and you're not stuck in a zone lock challenge like I am, you'll want the most cutting-edge, up-to-date gold making guides around. For that, check out Goldcapped, your one-stop shop for gold strategies across retail, classic, and more. I'll leave a link down in the description, but for now, let's get back to Goldylock's slightly less efficient farming. I wanted to diversify the portfolio just a little, so I headed down to the local wharf, picked up fishing from the trainer, and grabbed the trusty fishing rod from the general goods vendor. For the next half hour or so, I stood by a small lake and fished my heart out, leveling up just enough to stop reeling in literal garbage. That magic moment hits at fishing level 30, when you can stop pulling in junk and start getting fish every cast. Raw brilliant small fish, long jaw mud snapper. The downside? Well, these fish only sell for about 13 to 14 silver each. So when you do the math, that's around 6 gold per hour. Not exactly game changing. Still, it was peaceful, and hey, if Nat Pagel ever needs a break, I'm ready to sub in. But seriously, I do have a little fishing trick up my sleeve. If we're still stuck in Elwynn when the Dark Moon Fair rolls into town, let's just say the fish might be worth a lot more. Until then, we'll leave the fishing to the pros. Around level 20, Goldylocked started to hit a wall. Most of the quests were done, and the only leads left were breadcrumbs into Stormwind and Westfall, both zones we can't access until we pay the gold toll. But then something unexpected happened. A little message popped up in chat reading, "You have learned expert riding." Wait, flying at level 20? I'll admit, I had no idea that was a thing in retail WoW now. Now, in the spirit of the Goldbound challenge, where every gold matters and every advantage must be earned, I made a call. We went to the Griffin trainer, picked up a mount we already knew, paid 45 gold, and then promptly deleted it. That way, the gold was spent, no shortcuts, no freebies, just pure honest zone-locked hustle. And with that, the skies were unleashed, and it was time to retest the gold per hour for our gathering professions, now with an aerial advantage. So we ran a nearly identical route as before, a full hour of herb and ore gathering, with stops at every rare spawn that we could find. The results? 7 rare spawns, 7 kills, some BOEs, a few vendor greens, and a couple low-tier gems. The total looted item value came out to about 2.3k gold, which was nearly a 40% increase over the grounded run. Most of this did come from the rare spawn kills, with the material breakdown only being slightly higher, with 236 copper ore, 120 silverleaf, 82 earthroot, and 75 peace bloom. Flying definitely shaved off some travel time, letting us hit more nodes and reach rare spawns faster, and staying in motion. In the long run, flight is definitely going to mean more profit. So our next gold farm is, well, a little tricky. And I mean that literally, because it's rogue only. At level 24, Goldylocked finally unlocked Pickpocket, and with it, access to one of the sneakiest gold farms in Elwynn Forest. Here's the secret. Almost every humanoid mob in Elwynn that looks like they belong to a certain Westfall Brotherhood has a chance to drop a grey item called the Frayed Knot, but only through pickpocketing. Now, you might ask, why would a grey item that can't be equipped be worth anything? This particular knot is required to purchase the turquoise bobbleworm pet from Keeper Talhut in Erebos. It's part of a 3-item turn-in: the Frayed Knot, Rabbit's Foot, and Large Slimy Bone. But here's the kicker. Goldylocked can only farm the knot, and that's exactly what we're here to do. So according to Wowhead, the drop rate for the Frayed Knot ranges from 0.3% to 8%, depending on the mob. And it sells an average of 2.6 times per day, often going for 1 to 2,000 gold. So just one sale per day could seriously move the needle on our Goldbound grind. The mobs with the highest rates are the bandits, cut purses, and even the rogue wizards in Elwynn. My favorite pickpocket circuit includes the Brackwell Pumpkin Patch, Stone Cairn Lake, and the encampments east of Westbrook Garrison. The trick is, pockets reset every 10 minutes, so with the right route, you can use the loop back and start again, or kill them and let them respawn. That works too. It's stealthy, it's smart, and it's completely off the radar for most players. As Goldylocked continued the journey towards that coveted WoW token, the grind was in full swing. Herbs and ore gathered by the stacks, rare spawns hunted down, and every pocket picked clean for a few extra silver and a chance at the Frayed Knot. But with each loop through Elwynn, we inched closer. Not just in gold, but in level 2. And eventually, we hit level 35. And that's when things got kind of weird. It seems that in these old classic retail zones, 35 is some kind of breakpoint. Suddenly, Goldylocked was one-shotting just about everything. So lately, I've been running a tight rotation between Thuros Lightfingers, Fed Fennel, and Motherfang. They all have about a 25 to 30 minute respawn timer, so in the meantime, I'm gathering herbs, mining ore, and pickpocketing anything with a red mask that moves. So far, we've racked up over 20 to 30 kills on each of these rares, but still, none of the big ticket drops yet. No real jackpot, at least not yet. But since we've capped out our XP for this zone, it feels like a perfect time to pause and do a full recap of our gold earnings and where Goldylocked stands in that quest for that WoW token. If you know any sneaky gold farms in Elwynn that we haven't hit yet, drop a comment below because I'd love to test them out, and right now, it seems like this triple threat is our best bet to get out of Elwynn. Alright, and here we are at the Goldshire Inn. It's been our humble abode for the last quite a few days, and as you can see here at the bottom, we're about 22 hours into this challenge, so we're going to go ahead and do a mailbox clear and see how much gold we actually ended up in this episode. So over here, sold a few copper ore, some illusion dusts, those are from selling the and disenchanting the greens, as well as some alabaster pigments and inks. Excellent, so a few gold coming in from those, some more copper bars just to get more sales quickly. Some rough stones, more essences, a few one-off peace blooms, and malachite, just all gems here. Here's our first Frayed Knot coming through, so 1.1k from that. As well, some more regular things. Another frayed knot. There we go. And then here, a double frayed knot. Let's see if I can actually see here. Just says multiple buyers, I guess. I kind of wanted to show that it's not one of my characters buying those, and those do actually sell. Yeah, that is not my character. So these are actually selling. Got quite a few frayed knots out there. More copper ore. And let's just scroll through the TSM to see if anything else jumps out. Yeah, lots of frayed knots. We actually sold quite a few frayed knots here. Alabaster pigments, that's from the herbalism. More alabaster, more frayed knots. Lots of copper ore. So really, we'll go ahead and open all of those, but really it's just that triple threat of getting the frayed knots, getting some herbs and ores, and killing some rares that we're using right now to get this gold. So that puts us, right now, just in Elwynn Forest from a level 1 character, 23,898 gold on Goldylocked. Real quick, before we end up the episode, WoW tokens are 257,000, so we're about 10% there. But we've really honed in the farms that really make this efficient. But like I said, if you know some farms in Elwynn Forest I haven't done yet, definitely drop a comment, and I'll try those out for the next episode, and hopefully we'll be unlocking one of the neighboring zones. So for the challenge, we're going to be doing anything connected by a road, a ship, or a path. So we have an option of Redridge, which is connected by a road, Westfall, which is connected by a road, or because Stormwind is unlocked, we have access to the Deep Run tram, which would send us into Dunmoreau. So that could be a very interesting one as well. So those are the 3 zones we might get, and hopefully we'll be there next episode. But for now, thanks for watching.